Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them. We'll read them. Then we'll give you answers. You know it. I've got it. I've got the answer. The answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
So that's the first time I've played that song for real musicians and had to make eye contact with like a human.
Oh my god! Okay, it like was really good. It was great. It was great. It was hilarious. And then at the end, it just dwindled off. And I was like, "What am I listening to? What just happened?"
That's what I wanted. Perfect. I want that. It felt like, what? Oh, am I supposed to take it seriously? No. What's happening? You guys.
Hey, you're right. You can't be in your head. You just go and
You
it
just
flows
go.
and it gets weirder.
It gets
Like-
weird, and this is the first time I've had to contend with eye contact from other humans. And as you were like, you gave me the respect of like closing your eyes and listening, and then you were like, oh, there's something wrong with her.
We already knew that, though.
We already knew that. You guys, those delightful tiny laughs are from none other than my favorite EDM, which I don't listen to much else. So my favorite group, Krewella. We have Jahan and Yasmine.
Hello.
And I don't even care. I've been a fan for so long, way before you knew who I was. And this whole thing came to fruition. The backstory is I met one of you I talked to on an airplane. We were on like a late flight, I think, to Las Vegas, and you were sitting behind me.
I thought I was sitting in front of you because I remember turning around.
Oh, okay, maybe you're sitting in front of me. But I
Remember it.
was like alone, and I was like, oh my God, I listened to Krewella. I listened to all of Get Wet. I was like, I would come out to Team, which is it's a newer song compared to the other albums, for years. And you guys were there, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, it's okay if I say something because I'm just a girl alone. I'm not a weirdo, and I'm not so young that I'm like a weird, like, hey, like my friends are here and it's me. Like I was like, I'm older than them. I'm older than them, so it's okay. And you were so nice, and you gave me your email, and you were like, who's this chick? And then somehow you watched my special at some point.
This was recently, actually,
Yeah.
when I watched the special.
And then
I've been a
Jahan
fan.
made the whole family watch the special, and
Yes.
then she watched
I
it
love that.
multiple times, and then I watched it multiple times, and just
And then you guys tweeted about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or something. It was something about like women who, it was like a theme
Of course,
tweet.
it was about women.
Women who inspire something. And I was like, they know who I am. All hands on deck. And then we made friends, and you came to my show, and then I was like, I bet I can ask them to be my podcast.
yeah, girl.
Yes. And I'm so happy. So we're going to dive in because these questions that people send in, I also want to know. This is not like when I have my friends on. I'm like, how did you get your start in comedy? Like, I know how you got your fucking start. It was with me. So we're going to dive right in. And
Wait, can we swear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't have to censor myself.
You do not have to censor yourself as an artist, as a person, as a person who likes to say fuck. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. It's perfect. Okay, now we can
It is
begin.
perfect. Sneeze Weasel 77 says, I love your music. They're obviously talking to me. Keeps me going at the gym. Same here, Sneeze Weasel. What's it like being female creators in a male-dominated genre? That question is not the most in-depth question, but it's still, you guys are like, I hate to say kick-ass because that's such like, I'm a feminist. But you are. And you're cool looking.
Sneeze Weasel. How did you come up with your name?
Yeah, we have a question back to you, Sneeze Weasel.
You know
Is
what
it
I'm
your
starting
dick?
to think? I think you have so many multiple personalities that you're making up these characters and these usernames and these
my
questions.
God.
It's you all
No,
along.
if you weren't Krewella and you were like, oh, my friend that has a band, I would do that. I'd be like, people have so many questions, but like so many of your fans wrote in. Emily had to comb through for hours finding good questions. So that is a legit question. We don't have to answer it too.
No, we can answer. Sorry, we got
No.
a little tangented, sidetracked there.
I am the Sneeze Weasel. There is an ass Sneeze Weasel somewhere.
I bet you get this question a lot too.
I do,
being
which is
a
why I'm
female
like, do you not want to
comedian.
answer it?
No, it's okay. We can. I think it's cooler when a woman asks it anyways, because sometimes we have a male interviewer and it's like, oh, you're a dude, so I can't level with you on this subject. And it's just going to be me almost like talking to a human who might not be able to empathize. But we do get this question a lot. We kind of like tailor the answer differently every time we answer it, but I will say that we've been doing this for almost a decade, and so it's a little bit like, okay, at this point, we have made our stance, we have created our space in this industry, and it's a weird little space because some people don't fuck with us, some people do, but we kind of don't feel very separate being women in this industry because
Totally.
we have been just doing it for so long. But I do think that if you really take a step out of your own body and look at the big picture of the whole ecosystem of electronic music, it is kind of crazy being able to break through and be a woman. And it's very cool. And I feel very honored and all that shit. But stepping back into myself, it seems so normal. So I it's a hard question to answer. Do you want to spitball off me? Because I feel like your brain is churning, Jahan.
I think yes. I mean, we can go on so many tangents about this because I think what Yasmine said is how I feel as well. It's like you can't think about like in every single day that you're working or playing shows, you can't think, I'm a woman here. I'm writing a song. I'm executive producing my project.
Right.
I'm making 5,000 people dance and I'm a woman. But so it's very normal for us. You just have to exist and be your own person. But at the same time, I do think we have to be aware of the challenges that women still face. And a lot of that is like people not believing that, first of all, they're writing their music and it's that them that's actually doing the work. I'm sure that you have people who are like, oh, she doesn't write her scripts. I don't know if you've ever gotten stuff like that. Like people questioning your own creativity and your work ethic.
I think people are just, they never believe that anybody is truly creative on their own. People are always like, oh, do you have a writer? And I'm like, for what? A gig at the Giggle Hut? Like, what are you talking about, a writer? And at a certain level, if you aren't writing your own shit, like, what are you bringing to the table? I understand if you have, like, several albums you have to do, you're doing for a movie, you have to bring in someone, or if I'm writing for the Oscars, yes, you bring in writers. But at the very beginning and for a big part of your career, like, that's you that sets that tone and that brand. You have to be writing 100%. It. Otherwise, what are you, like a puppet?
Yeah.
And absolutely, I think that like humans are meant to collaborate. I think like when I think about like the whole purpose of this existence is to like collaborate and share ideas and connect. I think women do have to face that like constant skepticism of people, men and women. It's not just men on the outside who are like, is she actually putting in the work, or she's just successful because her sex appeal,
and to other women as well who are like, well, she must have done. There's always that doubt
dick for
that, or she's pretty, therefore I have two friends, who were at the show that you were at. These two girls who were DJs. Beautiful girls, my friends Pozo, and they're
we know them. They're the shit,
and they were so excited you guys were there. And were you at the show where they DJ'd? Were you at the different show? We had two shows,
different shows.
But they're these beautiful girls, and they do know how to operate DJ equipment and mix things, and they do a good job, and it's fun. Is their being hot part of the equation? For sure, like it's part of the package when you book that group. But to take anything away from it, it's just like nobody gets there. You don't
can't
stay where
only
you
ride on that.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. And you know what's funny? Back to your show, though, spitballing off what Jay is saying right now, I remember looking around when you were talking about very female-centric things. I was looking around. I was like, I'm cackling. Are dudes laughing at this? And it made me feel this very extreme sense of pride to see dudes losing it around me. I'm like, fuck yeah, you are laughing at some woman shit.
You get it.
Fuck yeah. And so it made me feel something seeing that. I
appreciate that.
Fuck yeah.
But I do agree with you about you don't think about it when you've been, I hate to say like in the game, but when you've been doing your thing for that long, that's a question that's come up for me. It's been peppered through my career, but when you start, you're like, I'm just going to go forth. Yeah. I'm just going to do it. And then you become established. You're like, well, they don't really treat me differently because I have all this work to show for it. So yes, there's always some people doubt you and things like that, but it's not like you just started yesterday. And it's like, you're two attractive girls. What's it like? You're like, been at this for a while.
I like how there's like an open dialogue about this now, or like there has been. I think that it's putting pressure on people to incorporate, whether it's like a business or management firm, incorporate more of a female presence because they're realizing the importance of like that perspective. However, Yasmine, it's led us to be more skeptical where it's like, do you only want to work with like female DJ duos because it makes you look good? We want people who are like truly like, hey, we like the art you create, we like what you stand for, and it's not just about like, oh, I'm going to be an ally with these girls because it makes my brand.
And check my box,
right? And that's true feminism to me. I want to work with you. Not because you're a woman, but almost in spite of the fact that you're a woman. Like, I want to work with you because you brought something to the table, and the fact that you're a woman is great, but I don't like this thing where it's like, gotta just work with all women. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to give someone a chance who sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got so aggressive. But that's real feminism.
The table shook.
I don't want a job just because I'm a woman or just because of my religion or whatever. And now people would say, oh, you're saying that as like a white woman. But the truth is, like, you want to be somewhere because you're the best for it.
Yes.
And we do need to open doors for people. But this idea that as women, we should just blindly work with all women ever is insane.
Yep.
And you're not going to get anywhere. Camilla.Rinaldi says, how do you achieve a badass attitude and not look like a bitch?
Oh, shit.
I've made people cry before. I've made men cry from being a quote unquote, is it bitch or just being straightforward? I don't know. But
Yeah, that's a blurry line.
I think we need to stop worrying about coming off like we're bitchy because I don't think I'm inherently bitchy. I don't think you're inherently bitchy. But sometimes if you use force, you're a woman. Someone's going to think you're a bitch because of how you said it. But I think that if the people around you cannot handle what you're saying and the way you're saying it. Obviously, if you're actually being a mean person, then you need to check yourself. But if they can't handle it, then that's kind of on them at this point. It's 2018. Like, come on. Like, I hate saying that, but it is. Like, they have to check themselves. We all need to check ourselves. If we're offended by something, why are we offended? Why are we reacting
What's
the
the
way
intention here?
Exactly.
And why am I offended?
Yeah.
Is a better question.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Like, but as a woman in particular, you're like, who cares if you're being bitchy? Like, why do we care? I think when it comes to women in particular, oftentimes what people think about you then becomes your reality. I wrote about this in my book. Like, oh, she seems like a bitch, therefore I will treat her that way. And then all of a sudden, you're not working and people don't like you, and all because of how you seem.
Yep.
And we do that to women. We never do that to men. Like, oh, he seems like a dick, therefore. It's like, well, I'll probably work with him.
Yeah. And I also think that it's really, to answer Camila's question further, I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who you trust because they know you and they know your character and they're constantly checking you. And I think a lot of people surround themselves with people who are just like, yes, exactly. But Yasmine and I keep each other in check. So there's some situations where we'll walk out of a meeting and I'm like, Yasmine, I feel like I'm really on edge today. I'm PMSing. I feel like, was I overly aggressive? I feel like I've asked you things like that because I have the tendency sometimes to be like very like, we don't want this. We've been treated like cash cows, blah, 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 blah. And like, I'll just say like very blunt things like that can come off as being insensitive. And I sometimes like, I don't want to check myself too much to the point where I'm like really crafting everything. Where I'm like, hello, sir, hello, agent, hello, shark. This is how we feel. Our immune systems are being really affected on the road. I want to be straightforward and be like, hey guys, the creativity, our health is the most important thing. We can't blah, blah, blah. So yeah, having people who you trust to check you.
I have edited an email or two that you have wanted to send.
Yasmine will just be like, that's
versa.
cold.
That's because also then other people, their inflection and their how they interpret it. Email's a tough thing, as are texts.
Yes.
I also think work speaks for itself. Like, if you have this sold out tour and you come in and you're like, here's what I want, people will give it to you because you're doing well. So it's that combination of reputation and being direct. I always cringe. It's usually women that can take it. I find like I'm just like, I want this. And the strong women in my life are like, absolutely, I'm not fucking around, da-da-da-da. And on occasion, I'll get a guy that like, my fifis are hurt. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. Like, what are we dicks out? Like, what are we doing here? So it's a combination, Twitter bug, Camilla.Rinaldi, of not caring, but also being around people who would never tell you that you're being that because they can handle
it's
it.
that constant, I mean, this applies to everything in life, is balance. So the balance of not giving balancing not giving a fuck and being your authentic self and standing up for yourself, but then also having a level of self-awareness.
Self-awareness, because you know when you're being a dick.
Yeah.
And I think when things come from authenticity, you're like, that is how I felt and that is how I feel and this is what I want to say. No one can take it away from you. It's when we're not being authentic. And you're like, I knew I was being a bitch. Oh, I feel bad about that.
Yeah.
This being from a girl who sends very angry emails on a regular basis with a lot of exclamation points. Let's get to some, speaking of surrounding yourself with good people, _Christina Margaret says, Krewella, you're such a staple in the playlist of all of us lesbians.
Oh, hey.
What was it like to officiate a lesbian wedding on stage at LA Pride Fest? Also, thank you for being such dope human beings. Did you do that, or is this another group and she made a mistake? Okay, you did it.
Yeah.
Okay, Yasmine did it.
Ordained minister.
Oh my God.
And I think I tweeted out like 6 hours before we played Pride in 2016 in LA, which was fucking awesome. I tweeted out like, hey, I'm feeling romantic today. Kind of want to marry a couple today. And these two girls, JoJo and Paula, we're still tight with them to this day, tweeted and like they were planning on getting married, didn't have a date, and we were like, oh, you might want to get married today. And I was like, cool, let's make it happen. It was very quick, like just like
it's a festival.
Exactly. Had to make the decision in like 6 hours. So I appreciate them wanting to just jump right in and do it, seal the deal. But it felt like one of those really magical moments where it was Pride, so everyone is there and full of love, and everyone's there to
Everyone's
just
on
support.
Molly.
You know what?
Everyone was high.
There's a potential of that too. So a little extra love sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
But it just felt like the most supportive group. Or, I mean, it's a large group. It's the most supportive environment to do that in.
That's nice.
It's like the most fucking awesome wedding ever on stage at Pride. And yeah, felt good. Felt good to be a part of that for sure.
It is nice when you get to be a part of those seminal moments in people's lives.
Hell yeah.
You know, just you made someone happy.
I will not be marrying fans anymore, though, because the first people that I ever
I got
married,
sued so hard.
No, like
what?
fucked up story. Sorry if y'all are listening and you're the couple listening, but they got a divorce within like a year of me marrying them, and it's because of I'm not going to air any dirty laundry, but there was some weird shit that went down with like the other shit, and I just don't want to be involved.
She doesn't want to blame herself.
I don't want to. I don't want
It's definitely your fault.
I just don't want to feel that guilt in my life because my conscience weighs heavy sometimes.
It's not your fault, though.
I know, but I feel weird.
She could have bad energy. It might be that.
No,
Bad
but
juju.
every other wedding that I've officiated, they're still together, so we're good.
What's your
But
success rate? We figured out the
success rate
percentage.
What's
is-
your ordained success rate? Sorry.
Success rate.
How many people?
4 out of 5 marriages are still Gucci, so
my God, you're
I'm
so
doing
funny.
good.
Find me a husband, and
That's
I
more
will
than
add
most
to that.
people.
Yeah.
I'm a B- right now.
No,
I'm
4 out of
passing
5
grade.
is it's a pass. I don't know.
That's a good Yelp review, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't eat there.
I
No,
would.
wouldn't.
I would. 4 out of 5?
Yeah, I would read it.
No, not
eat
if
at
4 out of 5 people at all, but 4 out of 5 stars.
Stars.
5
Agreed.
people have eaten
Yes.
there. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Or it's the best.
This is a side business she has. I'm her agent. I take 20%.
my God.
I'm helping
I've
facilitate
never
this
charged for a
business.
wedding. Jesus Christ.
That would
It's a
be
secret side
horrible.
business.
That would be hilarious.
It's a black market business.
If you're like, I need you to Venmo me $15 to cover the license fee. So, getting into a question about music, this one was cool because it involved both of us. Pi_Pi18 says, first of all, Iliza, he's very organized. I was the one who gave you the Krewella Electric Family Band in Denver. He did. I've had a couple people give them to me. Second, I absolutely love all 3 of you, badass women. And my question is, when you're having a creative block, what helps you get through it? Hashtag crew for life. Hashtag I'm not wrong.
I think you made this personal too.
Iliza, you're so pretty. What are your secrets? How are you so accessible?
Okay, you go first.
No, you go first.
We've been fucking
These
going
people
at it.
hear me talk all the time.
People hear us talk all the time. We hear each other talk all the time. Dog, come here.
Yeah, we'll
I
get
feel
Blanche
like
involved.
the first thing that I can think of, though, because we have 2 people in this situation, in our creative situation, if one of us is blocked, the other person will be like, let me get you out.
Yeah.
I'm doing a weird thing with my hand, guys. You can't
a
see
Harry
it.
Potter
It's
thing.
some like weird magic jazz
Oscillating
finger
She's
your
thing.
fondling the
thing.
balls.
Yep.
That's what she does with
Fondling,
Devin.
fondling me. Oh my God. Just drop the boyfriend's name on the podcast. No, but this is also what I wouldn't do this to my boyfriend's balls.
You wouldn't?
No, it was just
Me
maybe
neither.
if
You
it
don't
was
prefer magic
tickling,
on him?
tickling,
Pre-game. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, we help each other out of those blocks for sure. And you are a solo situation, so sorry you can't
So
relate
alone.
to that. So
Yeah.
alone. But yeah, so if I'm blocked or if you're blocked,
Are you
one
conscious of it? Like, is it just a given that if one's up, if one's down, the other one's up?
we supplement each other extremely well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And especially even if I'm not blocked, but I'm hella emotional and like in a sad world one day, Jahan will be like, cool, I'm going to kind of like morph to feel what you're feeling and like
Right.
accentuate
Help you out of it.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And vice
It's
versa.
sharing consciousness. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I don't know if this is a sister thing or just because we spend like every waking minute of our lives together, except we do not share a king-size bed because Yasmine has an awesome king-size bed and I can't stand the Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Just so you guys know, they don't have the same bed, in case that was a question.
She
Yeah.
did sleep with me the other night. though.
We fit 4, including the dog. 5 girls.
Well, you're tiny
on
women.
Yasmine's mattress. All of us went to your
We
show,
were
by
all
the way.
scared.
We were all scared.
we watched a scary show.
What'd you watch?
The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, by myself.
Fuck that shit.
I had to-
hard fuck that shit.
My sister said this too. I started watching it, and I was like in a hotel in like
No.
St. Louis. I had to open the blinds and watch it in the daylight with like the door open, and that's like not the way to
Like the
consume it.
hotel, like the door open to the
Door
hallway.
ajar, lights on, windows open in the daylight because I was like, I couldn't watch it alone
Why'd
at
you
night.
do that to yourself, though? Why did you watch it? Knowing
I
you
love
would torture
scary
you.
things.
Oh, fuck
Me
no.
too, but like, if the after effects I cannot handle.
It was. I didn't have any nightmares. It was just while watching it, you're like, oh, am I gonna get haunted? Is my toaster haunted?
That is my fear, because I feel like I am like a target for like evil spirits. I don't know. I feel like I'm easy, so I'm like, I don't know. Something about me screams like, "Hey, possess me."
If you feel that way, then it will happen.
Exactly.
So don't think about it. I go to bed. I'm like, what? Try it. Try it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna be like, I am a robot. I am not a vessel for evil spirits. And will that work?
Yeah, say it just like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, you guys are Muslim, right?
We grew up Muslim, but we're not practicing.
I was gonna say only Catholics get haunted.
This is a good call.
Jews are never haunted.
Muslims do. Yeah, you
Muslims
don't
are. You've
How
never
do you
heard
explain
of
like Al Qaeda and shit? They're all possessed, right?
Fair enough,
Right?
but they're not
By
possessed.
demonic forces.
They're just possessed by anger. Like there's no ghosts.
True.
I've never heard of a
Toxic
Muslim
masculine.
ghost. I'm sure there are stories. I mean, they must be haunted somewhere in the Middle
But
East.
that anger could be coming from a place of like demonic spirits or something. Who knows? I don't want to talk about this because I feel like I'm like
I'm just
opening the
saying,
door to be like, come get
You're not
me by
Catholic.
doing
It's
this.
not going to happen.
Okay.
True.
Every
All right,
movie's
I like
about
that.
like a nun or a pope or the church. It's never like two Jews and an imam walk into a
Gave me a
bar.
really good movie idea. Holy shit.
So you're fine.
No, because you know why? You know
Culturally,
who that
you're
would piss
fine.
off. That would like, you're playing with fire if you make a movie like that.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
But anyway, we shared Yasmine's king size bed.
Oh yeah, I'm like, how did we get here? Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
So anyway, back to us spending like every moment together. I feel like we share consciousness. So when Yasmine like writes something or she like goes in the booth and whiles out for like 5 minutes, like I may not have experienced that experience directly that was inspiring those lyrics and those melodies, but I can like tap into the mindset of Yasmine because it's I think in a sense it's like compassion or empathy too, is like kind of like stepping into the shoes of the person you're collaborating with, the person who you create with.
Yeah, like you're feeling what she felt. Like it's almost like a medium.
And then from there, yes, like a medium.
Yeah.
Great to bring in these weird.
Oh my God, you are going to
demonic
get
words
haunted.
again.
It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. But anyway, so from there, I'll get inspired because I'll be like, okay, I could apply this to my own inspiration. Now I'm going to go into the booth, and this is what she said made me feel. But yeah, when we're blocked, another thing I realize is don't get down on yourself. I know it sounds like so like cliche to say that, but if you go in the booth, if I'm in there and I start getting frustrated because I'm like, I keep repeating the same melodies over and over, I walk out and I'm like, I know I'm in that space where I'm just like beating myself up. So I need to sit down and get back into the place where I'm not caring and where I'm detached from the art and the ego of like, I have to do something. I have to prove myself in this booth.
You're in the upside down. Yeah.
Yes. So how about you? What are you doing in those
Oh,
moments?
thank you. Thanks, ladies. It took me years to realize this. I think that I put out so much, and we all work hard, whatever. If I get to a place, like I've got this one screenplay that I've written and rewritten, pulled apart and put back together, and I'm at a place right now where like I just want to get it done. Like the joy is gone. But there are days like I know the way I work. I know my study habits. I know that I'm not the kind of person that can sit in a coffee house and write. I know that I am the kind of person, if I have an appointment at 2, I can't write that morning because I know I have that appointment. I need a chunk of time. I know that that's like when you're in high school, you learn your study skills. Some kids do better with music. Some do better with highlighters and colors. You learn that about yourself. And I know that I'm lying to myself. I'm like, I'll just write on the road. If it's like the book I was working on, I need a chunk of time. So I don't beat myself up that I haven't had it. I know when I get that chunk of time, if I sit down, it will come to me.
Yeah.
And as far as the comedy, like weeks will go by. I'll go on a trip. They'll be like, did you get write any good material when you were in Belgium? And I'm like, no, because it doesn't work like that. It comes to me. And when it does, you have to capture it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's just going to stop coming to you is insane. So once you realize that it's not going to stop coming to you, you just have to be open to it when it does.
Yes.
There are some days, like, what I have to do is like clean my office and watch Frasier for 6 hours. That's what I have to do. And you need that. You need to let your brain sort of just run.
Yeah.
It can't always be focused.
Yep.
You need that rest.
I like what you said to assume that you'll run out. I mean, creativity and inspiration is a never-ending fountain. It's just sometimes a little blocked.
Yeah.
And like it will never run out though. So I actually need to remember that myself.
It took me a long time, and but sometimes I'm like, I haven't written a new joke. And it's like, yeah, but when you get up there, it'll come out. Like once you get the show. I don't write my jokes. I do them on stage. So I guess I don't. I don't know. Part of me also is just like, I've put out so much. Why don't you go look at my old shit before you ask me for some new stuff? I'm so tired. I'm such a grump. More questions about music for you guys. Lib_for short. Comment, they demand this. Comment on how rave and festival culture has changed over time / decades. My love your pod. Hashtag I am not wrong. I don't know why everybody's tagging it with what I said, but that is obviously a question for you.
Well, we weren't around in the 90s. We're little babes,
Yeah.
so we didn't get to see like the rave scene in the 90s. I kind of wish I could time travel and go back then. But for us specifically, like when we started off in Chicago and we were playing these like weird, sketchy underground shows where like 7 people would show up, it was sketchy. If there's a word to describe it,
Yep,
sketchy.
100%.
Sketchy, but really thrilling.
Yes.
And it felt like you were part of something really special. It felt almost more exclusive back then. And then obviously it became more mainstream and commercialized. So we've seen like a whole slew of different people.
I mean, look at Las Vegas.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's even changing now too.
Sorry, my dog is like shaking and the mic picked it up. She agrees.
Yeah, I think it's like seeing that everything moves in cycles. And we were actually talking to a friend yesterday and he was saying how like EDM is almost turned into like skateboarding, where everyone keeps thinking that it's just going to go away. And everyone in EDM, all these DJs are like, oh my God, we need to take all the offers we can take because it's going to go away next year. And by 2020, no one isn't going to want to go to raves or like go to bottle service clubs anymore because it's just done. The wave is done. So I think a lot of people in EDM create from a place of fear in that way. But I think what we've realized is that it's just a thread that's going to exist in music. It's an experience that people will continue. It's just going to evolve.
It's going to ebb and flow for sure. Just because it's a little bit of a lower point right now, people might be like, oh, this is washed or I'm not into this anymore. I mean, that doesn't mean that there's an entirely new wave, new generation of like fucking 14-year-olds who have never been to EDC before. And it's all they want to do the second they turn 18.
They're going 35
to
and it's all I follow it on Instagram.
Yo, it's the shit.
I like don't have the guts to go. Like that looks like a production, but I follow it.
It's intense for sure, but I think EDC is Las Vegas. The EDC in Las
Talking about Electric
Vegas.
Daisy Carnival for those of you that don't understand EDM,
true.
like we make it.
When we play next time, you'll come with us.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, I will.
Krewella experience.
Yeah, you'll have that
Oh, yeah.
experience. But I think it's one of the most magical places because I've walked around EDC, like the campgrounds or not the campgrounds, but the festival grounds. Some of the times we've played, and I'd be like, "Whoa, this is the most magical place I've ever been in my life."
Take that,
And it's
Disneyland.
It's a fucking rave.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they kill it.
It
They
looks amazing.
kill it.
Go on. Don't even stop. Just keep driving your car. Pull up your phone. Look up Electric Daisy Carnival.
Did you just tell someone to go on their phone while driving?
If you listen, then
Shit.
that's on you.
And Tomorrowland.
And Tomorrowland,
yes.
that's the other one.
Yes, but on a global scale, I think a lot of people are thinking about like, oh, in the States, it's kind of like been there, done that. We've been to all the major festivals. We've experienced the rave scene. But go to a fucking rave in China. Go to a rave in
To
Japan.
see how they party.
Exactly.
Go to any
It's-
other party in
yeah.
any other
Yes.
country.
It's so much fun. India, we're about to play Sunburn Festival. Like all of these markets are having a completely different experience of like EDM and DJs, and it's all like growing at different rates. So I think you have to like zoom out and look at the whole globe and realize that like the evolution is happening at so many different rates. And if you want to experience it in a different context, then go to a
Totally.
different country like Tomorrowland.
Hell
And I
yeah.
think that extends to any art.
Agreed.
You know,
Yes,
just to
yes.
see like not everything is this American byproduct of our culture. Like everything, people are experiencing different ways and they're expressing themselves in different ways. And you know, if we can get past the competitive aspect of it, which I rarely can, it's a cool thing to take in. So that's your answer. He demanded you comment on it because I remember I went to raves in high school, not a ton, and I didn't do. I didn't do any ecstasy. My best friend sold a lot of it, which was weird that she chose to do that. But I remember like Plur, and I remember going to like dirty warehouses in like South Dallas, you know. But like for us, going to this like small private school, like that was our escape from like the Friday Night Lights culture of like beer pong and flip cup.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, let's just get in our car and like find something. And I've always loved the beats per minute, the electronic aspect of it. It's like a serotonin bath for my brain. Like for some people, it just like hits them. And that's what I love about your music. It just, and there's like a Middle Eastern cultural reference. Like it's like a lot of like that flowy, like, you know, it's like, and you obviously bring your background into it, but and there's a toughness too to your music. Like you two are so sweet and lovely. You look tough. Like you got a neck tattoo, but you're so just like sweet and unassuming and just like kind of like earthly, like
Earthy.
Oh, I
earthy
like
and
it.
spiritual. But like team is like, fuck you, get on my team. I was at a party last night. Like there's a cool aesthetic to it. And
we have layers as artists. And I think
So
that's
many
one thing
layers.
with like social media or even just like any artist in the spotlight, people think that they're one dimensional. And like you especially too, it's like we have so many different facets of our personality, different like extensions of our personality and different sides because we all have like multiple personality disorder over
right.
here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's something too, like people want you to just be the one thing. And when you're not, like sometimes I found for me, like the road to success is a little bit bumpier because they're like, well, you're blonde, so you're the girl. You're like that girl. And you're like, but I'm not. Also, like, these are good highlights. Like, whatever. Ashley S. Sigraves. Ashley S. E. Graves. I can never read them because I'm not a robot. Says, first, why can't I think she's talking to you, Jahan. First, why can't I get my hair like that when it's short?
Yeah.
Because you've gone through many iterations
okay.
and it got this short.
It got this short
It was
because of
hella
hotel room
long.
haircut. Yasmine's
Whoa.
helped out a little too.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I decided like I like cutting my hair when I'm just like fuck it, mommy. She's I'll like
Punk
call her
rock.
over. She's with us in Germany, and I got scissors from the hotel room desk, and they seem really sketched out when I asked them for scissors, and they
It is a weird request. I'm
yeah,
not
because
gonna lie.
sometimes they like cut the thing right in front of me. They want you to like
want you to give it
cut
back
the
the
piece
scissors.
of paper in front of them at the desk. But I was like, no, I need to take it to my room. And I didn't want to tell them I'm cutting hair in the room because they're like, oh, it's gonna make a mess, which I did make a mess on the carpet, like all over. And I
Like,
just
I'm
like,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
but
vacuums are for.
exactly, but we're not vacuuming because it's a hotel, so I felt really bad. But anyway, I just like I don't know, punk rock haircuts. Have your friends cut your hair.
Have your friends cut
mom
your hair, but don't cut your own bangs because that's my 20s.
I did that. Yeah,
I do that every time.
that.
You have thick hair, and your hair grows fast. I can just tell. Culturally,
does.
you do. I have
this
like
whole
lab
cultural
rat hair.
thing.
Well, you're Middle Eastern, so you're gonna have a lot of hair,
Yeah,
and
we
it's gonna
do.
be thick.
I have a
Everywhere.
fuck ton of hair everywhere.
I have
Everywhere.
the hair. I have like Tom Petty hair, and it doesn't grow fast. And like the little bit that I have, like is very precious to me. But my bangs all through my 20s, like I had like big like bump. I don't know what I had, and it's all girls try to cut their own bangs because you think it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, also because I
Saves
feel like a lot of us
money.
are like
Yeah.
dissatisfied with the way we look, so we're always trying to tweak. That's what I noticed, and that's why I used to be obsessed with tweezing my eyebrows. Because if I went through a phase where I'm like, I'm just so ugly lately, I'll just like over tweeze my eyebrows, and I just stopped doing it completely because I thought I could change the shape of my face somehow
Right.
by reframing it with by like over tweezing my eyebrows. Huge mistake because I ruined them forever.
Did you? Because they
But-
seem normal.
Well, they grew up like they grew back like really weird and like sparse and spotty, but now I feel like I look like the dude from Game of Thrones who's really hot, and I feel like I look like the female version
Wait,
of him.
hold
with
on.
my-
oh,
Wait, what?
Carl Drogo.
Yeah.
He dies in the first.
Oh, with the, he's got the.
I look
Spoiler
like the guy who
Jason
dies.
Momoa.
Yeah, he's got like
him.
the eyebrows.
Do you know why he
with
has
the-
that?
Why?
You're talking about the little slice he has in
No.
there? It was from a bar fight.
Oh shit!
Which to me seems like a little too perfect for the narrative.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like
That up.
rugged dude.
Yeah.
I Wikipedia'd it because I was like, what's up with that eyebrow that I want to suck on?
I remember so the shape of the brows. I
You
look
don't
at
look
him
like
and I'm
Khal
like, I am
Drogo.
you. I want to be him.
I mean, like, I think she's saying she wants.
I wanna
to
be
look
him.
like
Oh, you
him,
do?
So let's just
Yeah.
give it to her.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
just
Tell me I look like
You
him.
look like
Tell me
Khal
I look like the
Drogo.
fucking mermaid in the Aquaman movie.
You look like
Okay,
Aquaman.
Thank you.
Not a
Thank you.
mermaid.
Ma'am, you
I thought
look
he was
like
a
Aquaman.
mermaid.
Is he a mermaid?
Yeah, is he supposed to
Aquaman?
be a
Is he a
mermaid?
mermaid?
No, he's a man.
Well,
Oh,
no,
I thought
is
he was a
he
mermaid.
half mermaid?
Emily,
Is he
Please
Guy-
fact
hey.
check.
is Aquaman part mermaid? 3 moms want to know. No, he's not a fish. He's a dude.
Because if he was a mermaid, he doesn't have a dick, right? Like, 'cause
Oh,
if
yo,
right?
I've always
the
wondered
rule.
that. Do
No.
mermen have dicks?
How do they
Yes.
penetrate?
Just like fish have dicks.
Does
So
he
where-
just like lift up?
Is
like
it a pocket?
flap?
It's a
Is it-
scale.
There has to be a
It's
distinction,
It's a
right?
perforated biflap. I don't fucking know.
this?
I don't know. I'm just
Yo,
lying.
did anybody see The Shape of Water?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know he has that thing that like unflaps open?
Do you know
His
how?
dick's there?
Can we
like,
just talk about Shape of Water? She fucks like a man fish.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I liked it a lot.
That you're fucking an animal.
I liked it.
Let's talk about that.
What is it called?
What?
Yeah, he asked me like
Yo,
that
liked it?
movie.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
If that
movie.
dude didn't have a ripped body, he would just have a fish head and he wouldn't be hot. So that's what it was. Like we're as humans, we're such animals.
like, I don't want to fuck a fish guy, but I liked the fact that she fucked the fish guy.
Oh yeah, I liked it for her. I was so happy for her.
Yeah.
Her name was Eliza in that movie, and that was very
He doesn't
weird.
have to lubricate. That's the thing. There's no lubrication.
Are we
that-
really
or-
going
yeah.
here?
It
Even
just
more so
slips
because it's
in.
salt water. No.
Yeah.
You ever have sex in the ocean?
No,
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 you can't.
no.
You can't do it.
So she
Dries
that's
out
so-
the vagina?
Right, so
Is
she
that what
could.
you're saying?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, she turned into a fish lady, right?
Don't give away the ending.
Oh, sorry. Did
she turn into
It
a came out
fish
so
lady?
long ago.
Didn't he, like,
She got
help
gills at the
her?
end.
So
yes.
okay.
But I don't know about the reproductive.
Yeah,
What? What does that look? Because we're giving away the end of Shape of Water. Shack says, "What's your favorite music to listen to get pumped?" For example, she writes, "Getting ready to go out."
Ooh.
Oh, we listen to like really intense Bollywood music sometimes.
And like really bad music, horrible music.
Sometimes like really shitty Bollywood music. Sorry, not to call anything shitty, but sometimes it's like
there are bad versions of everything.
Yeah, exactly. And our cousin who lives with us, she'll just turn on like the Bollywood Spotify station, and I'll hear like there was the song "Let Me Love You," Justin Bieber. There's like a brown version of it,
but it's actually good. It's better than the original.
It was so good, but I also felt a little weird about it because I'm like, how did you brownify like the whitest song ever? But whatever. So we'll blast that.
Bollywood sounds good.
Funny music. I like funny music.
Like, what's your funny? Like, what is it?
Just like random like 80s music. I was listening to the B-52s the other night.
Hell
Love Shack. Baby, Love Shack.
So good.
Just like funny
says,
shit. Yeah.
10 miles.
Yes.
Okay, that's your jam.
Love that. Love everything. So
Just
like,
stuff that doesn't make me take myself too seriously.
No, you don't want to cry your eyeliner off. You're getting ready.
And I don't want to feel cool either. I just want to be like, I'm a fucking fool before I go out.
Oh, I want to feel really cool. I want to be looking at myself like, get ready to fuck.
yeah.
Like, I put that 5 seconds of Summer Song Youngblood on repeat. I'm like, I'm going to... I mean, I'm married now, but like, if I wasn't married, I'd be like, I'm going to call every ex-boyfriend. It's time to fucking go.
I
Get
don't
ready.
want to listen to music that makes me want to do that. Fuck
Hurricane
no.
me. Oh. I like to get a little frisky. I listened to you guys for the longest time, and then that begat like its own Pandora station, and then that begat like Krewella. I'll put that in for like Spotify, and then I have a lot other EDM
The
stuff.
related artists.
I like the ethereal EDM, and I like fast EDM. I don't like anything in between. I either want it to be like super like lovely and spiritual, or like it's time to go, and it's like a little like it sounds like a little hamster going, and then that's what I do.
You don't like the bro-y stuff.
I guess it depends. I don't like too much bass. I do not like bass.
Okay.
You're still going to have to come to our show and deal with it, though.
But it's different. Your songs, I know your songs.
It's true.
But like, bass, but the beat drop. Like, okay, get over it. Also,
I would love to see you in the middle of a pit. Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I can't wait. All right, hit the top of the Cobb song. Hit it!
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Top of the Cobb.
That was a quickie, short little quote.
Yeah, it's just a little
You
jingle.
made me really hungry.
Okay, well, we'll go after this.
Okay.
Yasmine, do you want to kick us off with your top of the Cobb?
I don't have a top yet. Do you have a top?
That was the assignment.
Yeah, because you
know.
were
The whole
talking
reason
about
you're
like
here.
you made me hungry. There's something about the texture of your voice that made me hungry. I'm going to say eggs cooked perfectly in avocado oil or coconut oil, slightly medium done. So like when you cut into the middle, they slightly like the juices slightly seep onto your like bed of kale.
Oh, I hate that.
But not
Oh, so
too liquidy because you don't want it to be like dressing.
You don't want to get
know?
salmonella.
Oh, yeah, no.
But we buy
no.
good. We're pretty bougie with our eggs. We get good eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be a perfect start to the day.
Perfect
right
cooked
there.
egg. Perfectly cooked egg.
I just
Okay.
looked at Blanche and I just thought of like what I really like.
Go
I
on.
like dogs in general, of course. But you know that spot you rub on a dog and they start kicking their back leg? I got Blanche to that place earlier, and I love getting dogs to that place, which makes me sound a little
Is it
creepy.
the same motion you do to Devin with the balls, the magical little
Magic jingle.
No. But it's just like this spot in the back, like in front of their back leg.
You
And
brought
if-
her pleasure.
if I found it.
feel good about that.
I feel so creepy. This is like, and here is the G spot. No,
It's not like you brought the dog
This is the woman who wants to fuck a mermaid. A merman.
No,
A merman.
guys, I don't want to fuck a
Drusilla.
fish person. I just thought it was hot that she fucked the fish guy. Okay, we're gonna dead that.
You know
it's
what?
Deaded.
Of course it is because they wouldn't have made the movie if it wasn't hot. So you're not weird.
Exactly.
You got my dog to a very special place. My top of the Cobb, and this is specific to you guys, is tiny hamster voices in EDM. Sometimes they'll take regular songs and they'll speed them, like whatever DJ
Yep.
is like, sometimes I feel like my hands are dead.
Yeah.
Any sped up or like nightcore, like stuff like that. I just like sped up.
Okay.
I imagine a hamster in a tube and it's just running and the lyrics are always something like, we're dancing to the sun. And it's just like going. I love hamster
I
music.
feel like we need to go into the studio one day and keep you in mind. We're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna sing something and speed it up and format it specifically for Iliza.
Even if I'm just in the background, I don't even want credit. I just want to be part of the music. My bottom of the Cobb, I will start.
Okay.
Yes.
My bottom of the Cobb is when I see DJ spraying people with champagne.
Oh fuck, that's us. And we also play really bro-y stuff, so you're gonna hate our show.
I just don't like the bass. I just feel like some people got dressed up and then some dude's like, oh, you jizz.
No, sometimes
But
when
not if it's
Jahan
girls
is
DJing.
No, it's
jizzing
different.
champagne all over people and they have their fucking phones out, I'm like, Oh,
Your phone.
Do you realize what's happening? I know you want to capture the moment, but your phone's fucked and
I
sticky
know you
forever.
want to capture the moment. Sticky
You
forever.
have to- you have to know, like, you're asking for it. If
Exactly.
you go to a Krewella show
Yeah.
and you see how shitty we dress at our shows, obviously
Yeah.
we're not dressing nice
You guys
because
look
we're trying to.
cool. I think you look
Bro
so
tanks.
cool, and I've often thought I wish I could dress like that on stage for my shows, but it's like it's distracting. Like it's cool on you, like on
Thank
DJs,
you.
but I can't. But I watch all your stuff. Now I feel like a weirdo. All right. Bottom of the cup.
Bottom of the cob for me is when deodorant gets really crusty and like sticks to the armholes of your shirts, which is probably happening now.
No,
and I've been
deodorant.
growing out my armpit hair, so it's like when it crusts on my
It
armpit
sticks to
hair,
the hair.
too.
You know what's weird is I noticed that, and then
Yeah.
normally as a woman you see another one and you're like ew, but for some reason on you I was like
It's hot.
that works.
I'm more like Carl
hot. It
Drogo
is
now.
hot.
Carl Drogo is
Yeah,
his name.
she's just gonna
I'm
trend
turning
morph
into
into Khal
him.
Drogo. So close to just raping a princess with silver hair.
Yo, that's fucked up, right? Because
They were okay, though.
You end up like loving them as a couple, and then you forget he raped her.
He did rape
Why
her.
does Game of Thrones make us like weird shit? It's not good.
She's tapping into
guys,
it.
we don't have time to go into that. That's
I know
a
that's a whole
separate
other
thing.
psychological.
Game of Thrones,
All
I
right,
love
what's
you,
your
but
bottom
why?
of the cup?
Okay, so
Okay.
I used to work at Trader Joe's when I was 19, and I still go there. I shop there all the time. I worked there for a year stint, and I fucking hated it when people would just be on the phone. I literally wrote this down.
Yeah.
When they're in line and it's for their time to check out, they're on the phone, they're yapping. They don't even say hi to you or even look at you. They're just like, do your fucking job. And you're checking them out, and it's like $300 worth of groceries. It's like the holiday rush, Thanksgiving or fucking Christmas, and they've just got a fuck ton of shit, and you're just trying to like check everyone out in time, and they're not helping back. I'm sorry, but if they're not helping back, they're $300 worth of groceries. That's why whenever I go to Trader Joe's, I always help bag. You guys are looking at me like I'm fucking
no,
crazy.
No.
Sorry.
I do that too because of you and because of what you've told me about being annoyed by people like that who don't even look at you as like a human.
Yeah.
Right.
Or at least apologize and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm on the call. Like, you know,
Exactly.
But
make
also,
eye contact. or
$300.
something.
Like it's not like you bought a salad. Like I'm sorry, do you want to stay at Trader Joe's longer? Help them out.
Exactly. Sometimes it takes
Bag
like
your shit.
20 minutes, and like, you know what? We could go fast with this or go hella slow. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, if you want to stay in this
Yeah.
Trader Joe's for the holiday season. That's fair. Once you've worked another side of a retail job or a
Yep.
service job, then you have a little bit more compassion
Yes.
for that.
Exactly.
That being said, I hate it when Trader Joe's people are like, so, how's your day? I'm like, just give me the chicken salad.
I had to be that.
I know.
okay?
They make you.
You have to be bubbly. You gotta like have the Trader Joe's Hawaiian shirt kind of feel and like make people feel good.
It's better than Target where it's like, help me. Help me. This
Oh
shirt's
my god, for real.
glued onto my skin. You guys, I'm my broken heart. You know what? Maybe you'll be our first repeat guest because we had all these questions. I'm so
We just
sorry.
have too much shit to talk
Yeah,
about.
we
We go on
do.
tangents.
But you know what? That's what this podcast is about, man. Fucking
Yeah.
vibing out. And the three of us making the best EDM album ever. Right?
That was the purpose of this.
Collab,
It was a trap.
I really want you to get my music career off the
I'm
ground.
gonna be
I'm
the
really
hamster
passionate.
voice.
It's Krewella featuring the hamster voice woman.
we might have to do like a fucked up Christmas song together someday.
Yo.
Yeah.
Or like a custom song for
We'll talk about it offline. Yasmine, Jahan, Krewella, you guys, if you haven't listened, if you haven't heard, if you don't, fucking get on it because this music will make you feel good and
Are
they're
you
hot.
threatening your listeners?
That is the vibe. Do it. We'd also like to learn more about you. Isn't that exciting? Please complete a short survey at onetree.com/survey. That's onetree.com/survey. You'll have an opportunity to tell us what you like about this show, my show, and what you'd love to hear in future episodes. The power